Okay. Good afternoon, collectors. This is Melinda from Department 56 with our last Facebook Live for 2019. You know, it's kind of hard to believe that we will be entering a new decade in just a few days. 2020. I guess that's how we'll probably all say it. Seems like only yesterday we were struggling to write 2000 instead of 1999. So entering a new decade, and there's lots of new things coming. So I'm hoping that you'll like some of the new things that we have coming. I just finished mailing out all of the prizes from our Village Hacks session, and we got so many of them, and I was so pleased. I have 2 people that have not sent me their mailing information. So if any of you know Jim and Martha Draper or Betty Roberts, let them know that I still have their prizes, and the rest of you should be receiving a package just in time for Christmas. I heard from one person this afternoon who got his prize, so check UPS for delivery. So Grant, thanks for the thank you and the Merry Christmas, and I hope you'll find a place in your village for this new animated accessory that we sent out to everybody who participated in the contest. And it was really successful, so I'm hoping we can do another one maybe next spring where we can do some village hacks, maybe about how you change your village from winter to spring and summer. That would be a good one to do, and then we'll do it again next year at Christmas time. So keep those ideas coming in, and I'll let you know when we can start receiving those next year. Some of you have asked already about brochures. January 15th, we will have the new brochure. I happen to have one right here. Can you see it? I can't show you the cover because then I'd be showing you new pieces. So great edition. They did a really nice job on it. And the good news is they have not changed the price for either the Village brochure or for the Snow Babies brochure. There will be one available for each. They will be $5. Some of the retail stores will be getting these pretty soon, right after the first of the year. And we will also have them on our website for sale as we've had in the past. So you will be able to, as of January 15th, place an order for those there. Speaking of the websites, we have had a lot of busy elves this year, picking and packing replacement parts. Our orders are so much higher than they were yet last year, so we know that you're taking advantage of the ease and just the convenience of being able to click online anytime, day or night. I always say shopping in your pajamas if you want to find those parts that you're going to need. And so many of you have placed orders, and we're really appreciative of that. And we're going to continue to try to have parts available for things that are current and the new items. And what I'll do the first week of January, I will go through everything that's new and see if it's got a little hanging flag or if it's got a special adapter or a special light cord or special bulbs, and get those ordered. So the sooner we order them, the sooner they'll be available. And once they are available, they'll be photographed and priced and show up on the website so that you'll know that these pieces are available for you to purchase. Sometimes some of the older pieces, and people have asked this question, they'll say, well, I used to be able to get piece X, Y, and Z, and now I can't get them anymore. You've taken them offline. Are you going to have them again? And what has happened in the past is we have switched some factories, so if we're not working with that factory any longer, sometimes we can't get parts for older pieces. And that's just the nature of the game. So we try to get a good supply up front so that we don't run into things like that. But sometimes we just don't plan quite enough for replacement parts and don't have enough in stock. And sometimes you just buy more than we think you're going to. It's really hard to know. But we're going to keep improving this system and try to keep providing these parts for you. And remember, if it's not listed online, it doesn't pay to call and say, well, could you find one someplace? We generally don't have them if it's not online. And I hope that if you belong to a club, that you're sharing your newsletter with us. I get a lot of them by email. A few I still get in the actual U.S. mail, but I do read those newsletters. That's how I spend my lunch break, reading newsletters, getting ideas from you, seeing what your questions are and the kinds of things that you do If you don't belong to a club, there's always going to the NCC 56 website. Is it ncc56.com is their website, and looking to see if there's a club in your area. If there's not, they're willing to help you set up a club. These clubs really have provided a lot of information for the collectors over the year. And I'm always grateful to read in these newsletters where some of the village clubs have set up displays in hospitals, they've set up displays in nursing homes or senior residences for people who just aren't able to do that anymore. People really enjoy seeing the creativity that you people do. The Ronald McDonald houses are still being graced with displays from some of our collectors clubs, and if you've done displays like that, send us pictures to Miss Littown at department56.com, and we're more than happy to share those pictures with everyone else on Facebook. And when you send those pictures, send them as an attachment, not in the body of the email, because it's easier for us to work with those and get them transferred to that other site. Other clubs have collected food and toiletries and books and bedding. There's a club in Chicago that has worked with a crisis nursery, and they do baby quilts. So there's just an awful lot of good that has come out of some of these clubs. There's also one club up in Michigan just had an open house, and people brought foodstuffs to the club, and I heard that they are sharing the things that they received at the open house with local schools. There's a lot of schools that are providing like weekend backpacks with food in it for kids who don't have much to eat over the weekend. And in a nation where we have so much, there shouldn't be kids that go hungry, and we have so much to be grateful for. So let's help out those who really don't have as much as we do. Some clubs just really enjoy getting together and sharing a meal, going to a concert or a play together. I know the clubs out in Pennsylvania annually go to some kind of a Christmas concert or Christmas play. So many long-lasting friendships have been formed through our collectors clubs. I've even heard of a few romances and marriages that have occurred. So you never know what's out there. Ben and Debbie, I think you've been married for over 20 years now, and I know you met through collecting. So at this time of year, I'm grateful for all of these things, and I'm so grateful for all of you. I thought I'd take a minute and answer a few more of these questions that are asked by collectors and consumers throughout the year. And some of them are questions we get all the time. Some of them are a little more unusual. One of them is, why can I no longer find a retailer in my area? So when the economy turned kind of south back in 2007, 2008, we lost a lot of retailers. It was very difficult for us as a company and for you as collectors. It used to be that a lot of our stores that sold our products were selling through independently owned stores, specialty gift shops, and a lot of mom and pop and family owned retail stores that were not chains. So it was very difficult for some of these retailers to stay in business. Another thing that happened probably about the same time is there were retailers that had been around for 20 or 30 years, and they decided they were going to retire, and their kids didn't want to take on a business where they had to be there from 9 o'clock in the morning till sometimes 9 o'clock at night. So we lost some retailers. So that's why there aren't as many retailers in your area. Well, how do you find out about the retailers that are still around? Go to our website, department56.com, and we have a pretty good list of the retailers that we sell to. Now, it does not indicate that which retailers carry the products seasonally or which carry them year-round. So it's always worth a call, and contact information is there, and if they have a website, that's usually listed as well. But check out some of those, and it's sometimes fun to go to a store that's not in your area if you're out traveling, to see just how other retailers handle your favorite villages wherever you're traveling. So that's kind of a fun thing to do. believe it or not, I get a lot of requests from people who say, oh, my mother or my father or my grandmother's been collecting for years and years and years. I'd love to have her house done as a special piece. Unfortunately, we can't do something like that. But we'd love to see what it is you'd like to have us do. So kind of that's a twofold question. No, we can't do a custom piece, but we love getting ideas from you. So send us a picture of Mom's house or the church that you were married in. And we pass those ideas along to our creative team. And sometimes they will look at something and maybe not use the whole design. They maybe see the front door or the way the archway on the church is or the bell tower. They may see something on the front porch that they really like and combine those ideas to make a new piece. So all of your ideas are looked at and shuffled along to whoever is working on, if it's a Snow Village piece, usually Scott gets those. If it's a North Pole piece, we'll pass those along to Paul Lundberg. If it's Christmas in the City or Dickens Village, we'll pass those ideas to Tom Bates. So they get your ideas, and if they don't use your idea, it might spark an idea for them to do something along the same lines. So please let us know, because if we're not designing pieces that you like, we might as well stop designing. So another question that I get quite often, especially from new collectors, is what is the difference between Snow Village, Dickens Village, and why are they different sizes? And this is especially true when it comes to accessories. So I have a few here that I wanted to share with you. These are a couple of our Snow Village accessories. Is this higher? Okay, so these are Snow Village accessories. And you can see there's lots of good detail. This happens to be from one of the gift sets this year, the skating series that we did. This one is from one of the churches that we just did this year. I think it's called Welcome Pastor, and it's a pastor and one of his parishioners, and I think she brought him a poinsettia plant. And you can see, and I didn't realize I had grabbed this one, but you can see the difference. This is a Heritage Village piece, or Dickens Village. This one I think happens to be New England, but this is made of porcelain, and you can see it is smaller in scale because we can have a little more detail added when we're using porcelain as opposed to ceramic. See the difference? Quite a bit different. Some people will use porcelain accessories with a Snow Village piece, and that's just fine. If you don't mind that these are a little on the shiny side and the matte finish on the Heritage Village or the Dickens, New England, and Christmas in the City pieces, they do fit a little bit better as far as scale. If we made them to scale the size of the opening of in the doorways, they would be so small you wouldn't see any of the details in the pieces. So that's why they're different. And then even smaller, we have started with a lot of our licensed pieces using resin. And again, we can get really good detail. And you can see here that, we've got this gal standing on two legs, and little Ralphie, this is from Christmas Story. Little Ralphie's got his tongue out, and this is his teacher probably scolding him for putting his tongue on the flagpole. But you can see that that's even smaller in scale to the Heritage Village. So if these pieces appeal to you more and you like them in your village and they work out with the kind of clothing that they're wearing, these pieces from Christmas Story would just go nice with your Snow Village pieces. So it's up to you. It's your village. You can make it any way you want. So that answers a lot of those questions. The other thing that we get a lot of questions about are on adapters. Why are there so many different adapters? And years ago, the adapters were bigger, they were chunkier, and we have now, through technology, come up with lighter weight, smaller adapters. This one doesn't look all that much smaller, but it weighs a whole lot less. A lot of these adapters weigh as much as close to a pound. When we're sending out orders, we could see that on the UPS scale, how heavy some of these adapters are. And they're harder to bury in your display and hide them So the littler ones, they're easier to use and lighter weight, don't take up as much room. But they have to be different because we don't want our artists to be limited to the amount of power that they can use on their piece. Now, when Scott is doing the Christmas pieces for Christmas Lane for Snow Village, he has all the bright lights and the lights on the trees, and he needs more power on an adapter like that. So we can't just say, let's just use 3-volt adapters. He might need a 6 or a 12-volt adapter. So be very careful. Don't plug a 12-volt adapter into something that only needs 3 volts. You're gonna make the piece pop, and then it probably won't work at all. So if your piece does not have the writing on it, we've got labels on a lot of them now. So this is a newer one, and we've got it labeled so that you can see what piece it goes with. That's extremely helpful. If you've got an older piece, just take a Sharpie marker, mark on there either the item number or the name of the piece, so you don't make mistakes like that, because there's nothing worse than getting everything all ready, plugging the wrong piece into the wrong adapter, and having an accident. The adapters also, if you get them buried in your display and it overheats, it will short itself out. These are all UL approved, and that's the way UL, Underwriters Laboratory, wants things. They will kind of melt and shut down so that the problem with the overheating doesn't go into your building. So that's another good thing. We are very careful about that working with electricity. Now I want to talk about something new as far as lighting goes, and I think it's pretty exciting. This year we've brought out a couple of pieces, and next year in 2020 we will have even more that will be using the USB LED cords. This happens to be the single light cord that came out this year. And USB cords, of course, will have this. Is this a jack? Nate? Yeah. A port? Okay, I don't know all these technical terms, but set up in a way that you can plug it into the appropriate plug and then plug it into the wall. So that's using it as a standard light cord. Somebody recently gave me a really great idea. We have always kind of struggled with cords, especially if you're going to have a small display that you want to put on a hall table or on your Christmas mantle or coffee table, someplace where you don't want a cord traipsing across the room. These will work for that if you use something called a power bank. I want to get my terminology right. This one happens to have 2 jacks on it, so you could plug 2 of these in. You turn it on, and you're going to have a cordless light, and that will work really well. Now, some people have been concerned, is this going to have the same kind of lighting? So I wanted to show you this, and Nate's going to be ready. We're going to go dark for a minute, but I want to show you. They worked really hard with the factories to get the lighting to work. Okay, I'm going to turn that up. Look at how similar those lights are.
Hold them a little further apart.
A little further apart? Okay. And the other thing they said is originally when LED lights, did this just go off? Probably because I maybe did something here. Okay, turn it back on. There we go, back on again. But we don't need the lights off again. But what they did is they made, apparently when LED lights were first out, they kind of shot out straight. This has the rounder light so that you will get more of a full effect in your lighted house and get that same kind of a nice soft glow that you got from a single light cord. So let us know how you like using these. And I think this is just a terrific idea to use something like these little power blocks or power banks. You can get them, I think you probably can get them that would hold more than one. This keeps wanting to turn off, but so maybe this needs to be charged a little more. But if you look inside the house, it will have that same effect. And if you want to put it in an area where there is no availability for power, like if you had a wreath that you were going to use in the center of the table, something this small, you could light, put your house in the display, and this would be very easy just to tuck underneath the branches of a wreath or in a snowbank, and you would have the ability to turn on and off your, well, let's see, there is also a light switch here. There we go. You can turn on and off a lighted display on your table. So probably a better light than you would have had with our DAL battery operated lights, and no batteries to deal with. Just make sure this is charged and away you go. And a lot of us have these for charging when you're traveling and need to have power for more than just a few hours. So this is a great option, and something I hadn't even thought of. So I think this is something that I think as time goes on, these lights will be more and more popular, and I think you'll be interested in having at least a couple of these for your displays. So new introductions, let's talk about when those are going to be available. A little earlier than normal, they will be posted on the consumer website. Mark your calendars, Friday, January 3rd, 2020. On a Friday, you'll have the whole weekend that you can create your wish list and see which pieces you want to have, and create your list for the retailer and get those items ordered up right away. Our next Facebook posting then will be Thursday, January 9th. Hey, that's my daughter's birthday. Happy birthday, Katie. We will meet you again then, and this will be starting our second year of Facebook Live. Let us know if there's something that you're interested in having us talk about. And of course, January 9th, we will be showing you some of the brand new pieces. And we'll probably go through a couple of villages each time, showing you some of the details and close-ups of them. In the meantime, I hope everyone has their villages finished and has a great holiday season. Until next time, Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.